Battlefield of Eternity, everybody! It's gonna be a quick draft because we have been here a few times already. The lobby crashed twice, so the first picks and bans will be pretty quick. But again, just to explain where we are, this is the Rive Cup, a Russian tournament that has a 2,000 euro prize pool, and they have a double elimination system bracket, which means there's a winners and a losers bracket. So if you get eliminated once, you lose one match, you drop down into the losers bracket and can play it out from there. Now, just to again remind everybody, I talked about this already a bit in the past, the backgrounds will now change according to which tournament I am commentating, so I'm going to try and keep the same background for the same tournament, so that especially the people on YouTube have a bit of an easier time to just like recognize which of the matches belong to the same event. And by the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that like button and also subscribe if you haven't done it yet. Why haven't you? Because these explanations at the beginning are mainly for you guys. Everybody on Twitch usually knows what's going on here. But either way, we got Team Arthas now on the right side, so the team of Stork, and we got the Stinky Sweaters. Stinky Sweaters, we didn't have too many matches of them in the recent past. They played in every single one of the Masters Clash qualifiers too. But the bracket just didn't work out in a way that I ended up in their games. But you will probably recognize some of the names if you're following the European scene. We got Come On Bear, Sven, we got Drakia, Rax, so definitely a couple of familiar names here. So this is a best of 3 series that we're jumping into. Battlefield of Eternity is our first map. We are currently in the winner bracket still. I believe this is the round of 8, so it should be a quarterfinal already. Round of 8 or round of 16. It's a bit chaotic here, but we got on the bans, we have Li Ming now banned out, the traditional ban on Uther and also on Medivh is following. And, well, with the recent tendency to get a bit more Alarak into the game, Alarak has been banned out as well, so a little bit of a frontline focus here. We got the Nado now with the Muradin set up, so Stormbolt build probably with a Sledgehammer on level 4 for the extra damage against the Immortal. On the other hand, Chromie made it through the draft, and we got Stukov together with her. So you kind of want to set a stun up and then follow with Stukov's Lurking Arm, and Chromie then can just pinpoint that and get a bullseye damage setup in with the Dragon's Breath and hopefully blow the target to pieces. This is one of the matches that could definitely go to a third map here. We got Come On Bear now coming in with a Nuburak, and we got Rexa. There's your stuns, by the way. We had a lot of variant play in the past, from the Hardos in particular, so our teams are starting to pick up on this variant Stukov setup a lot more, but a Nuburak Stukov, it's kind of the OG initiation combo, so that isn't really bad either. And it's a really aggressive composition as well, so you're trying to come in with all the damage. Sylvanas and Blaze both get taken to round this out. Got a couple of stuns in, got the damage. Lucio for the quick rotation is here too. And our last pick on Battlefield of Eternity for the blue team, for the Stinky Sweaters, before we are heading straight into the map itself. So kicking this off here, Rive Cup, as I said. 2,000 euros are on the line in total for the players, and we got a Genji pick. Alright, let's go. Battlefield of Eternity, map number 1 in the best of 3 series. Stinky Sweaters against Team Arthas. On the left side, the blue team with Come On Bear on Nuburak. We got Sven on Raxa, Drakia on Chromie. Dark Doritos playing Stukov in our first game of the day, and we got Rak on Genji. On the right side of the map, Stork himself on Blaze for Arthas Stroidram. And that means Arthas builds a temple. Usually we call them Team Arthas. But there we got Killer on Lucio, Murenas on Sylvanas, Denado on Muradin, and Bishops is playing Hanzo. Okay, let's get this party started. On level 1, we got the Endurance Stim Pack, so not working on the new habits or anything like that. It's all about the Nuburak engage for now in the early game. Obviously, they're going to try and set these kills up, as I explained during the draft. So they're going to attempt to get some quick rotations going, move in, get the Burrow Charge engage, and then follow up with Stukov's Lurking Arm and hope for Chromie to get enough damage through to take the target down. Yeah, but there's also a lot of stacking that will happen there eventually, especially down at the bottom. Denado is, of course, going to try to get the Stormbolt stacks together. And Murenas and Bishops are going to dish out the damage. Already worried about a flank happening here. But this could really be an interesting game. It's a bit of the tournament itself is really interesting because there's a lot of new teams that signed up for it. There's a lot of Russian and Ukrainian teams that signed up since they're following the organization. They're following Rive, the tournament organizer. So we had a couple of, plat and silver teams even sign up. But now as we're heading a little bit deeper into the winner bracket, most of the teams are a known entity. And Team Arthas, I'm actually pretty happy that we get this game today, because I've been talking during the Masters Clash series that I was a bit sad that we couldn't cast more of their games. The bracket just never really worked out this way, and they didn't participate in the 4th qualifier. They are going to try and make it through the last chance qualifier for the Masters Clash, so we couldn't cast them there either. So this is the first time, I would say, in like 2 weeks or so that I can cast them, and the Russian teams were always super aggressive. It's one of the beautiful things of casting them. You never really know what happens. Normally there's a lot of, there's a lot of rules to all of this, where you don't want to engage when you are 1 player down, you don't want to make a play if you have maybe an issue with talents. So the Russians kind of throw all of these rules out the window, and they win the most ridiculous fights sometimes. Of course, every now and then it horribly fails, but just generally speaking, it is refreshing to see someone just like break those standards and try to make something happen. Either way, here comes the engage. The problem is the follow-up is just not there. We didn't see a kill yet, but the camp at the top was taken, and here they come for Nuburak, and he is down. And Nuburak eliminated. He's dead. At the bottom, we still got Bishops holding the experience for the team. And of course, with the level 4 talents, now Sledgehammer has been taken. Good damage against the Immortal. Makes it easier to complete the baseline. We get, in addition to that, also the Hunter-Gatherer. Extra armor for Misha and for Rexa. Even though it is a bit harder to stack it on Battlefield of Eternity. Unless, of course, you win the Immortal quite frequently, so that you can get the extra globe. So that makes it a bit easier for you. Should also be part, if you can, of every single camp that gets taken. Wasn't really the case here. Rexa had to stay at the top lane as the team went for the Shaman camp. And they took it a little bit early, maybe a bit too early, because it will allow for an earlier defense through Team Arthas. So the red team might be a bit late, since the Immortal has already dropped onto the map, but their timing is still pretty decent. Always given that we're going to have the usual stalemate situation here. The Immortal damage is not really all that good for Stinky Sweaters, so it's definitely better for Team Arthas, but they got a really nice team fight, and that's what the composition is all about. They're trying to make the play for Dr. Rita in the back. Denardo is low. Uh-oh, and there's the kill. Good swift strike kill. Rag got the reset, and he is jumping in for kill number 2. Nicely done. Mirrodin is dead, so is Sylvanas. He pays for it with his life, but still a 1-for-2 trade in their favor, so they're not going to be too sad about this. The Immortal has taken a bit of a beating on the other hand, so this one is already rather low. Gotta be careful around this. And it seems that the blue team, for now, is able to get the halftime show. Everybody's back up on the map, so we got our 5 versus 5 now going. And of course now the rotation straight down to the bottom in an attempt to set this up for the next phase. And there it is. Trying to get the Immortal here. Good damage from the outside from Chromie. Rexa is still sitting all the way up at the top. And they're already sliding in here. Stork is trying to anchor. Playing that side lane Blaze. Obviously on the right side, Bishops is now attempting to use his Hanzo to drop that Immortal a little bit quicker, but he is racing against time here. There's the engage, Sven is in trouble, and Nuburak comes in, and Rexa goes down. They look for the counter kill, but they can't lock Denado in. The Immortal is nearly destroyed, but Noob dies too. So Nuburak and Rexa are both down. They're looking great on the Immortal, but they really need to get Chromie into a position where she can fire away even more, connect those Dragon Breaths and Sandblasts. Already trying to do exactly that. And on the right side, the attempt to lock this Immortal down, but of course it's not gonna happen. The blue team still successful on the first objective. They just did too much damage initially. But still, nice recover from Team Arthas. They were able to get the shield down pretty low, so it's sitting at roughly 40-30% now. The push to the top lane is what they gotta watch out for though. We got level 7 talents on both sides. For now, the Leeching Scarabs. And bot lane Rexa went down again. Now, there is not enough heroes here for the defense for Team Arthas, at least initially, but with the bot lane getting destroyed, it means that Nuburak has to move down to the bottom of the map so that they don't lose out on experience. That doesn't leave enough heroes at the top side to really push with the Immortal, and they don't want to lose any more players. So instead, they're falling back, they're just accepting that they won't get much more than the wall here. And they're looking also for a kill. The problem is that Stukov is also a bit low. Here comes the rush for Chromie, and she is down. Yeah, little dwarf gets eliminated here. Gnomi is dead, and that is 6 kills to 2 now in favor of Team Arthas. They showcase that aggression that we've been talking about the entire time. They are ahead by an entire level now, and they are aggressively moving cross-map time and time again in an attempt to get the kills connected, which is exactly what's happening here. Cams are now also locked in. We got Stalk at the bottom of the map dealing with the experience, so he's making sure they're not losing out on anything here. And he also has a bit of an idea what's happening here regarding the camp, playing it out with Camembert for now. The rest of the red team is on the way, and they might actually get both of the camps. Yeah, they're so close to level 10, why wouldn't you try to make the play here? If you can stall them and get level 10 during the fight, then you're going to be in a great spot. But here comes the engage right away. Maybe a little bit too aggressive. They don't have level 10 just yet. The blue team is still trying to fight it out. And Hanzo goes down. There's the level 10. Can they finally make something happen here together with it? They're trying, but Muradin is also dead. They definitely overstepped a bit. They were here way too early. They got the camp, but they lost 2 of their heroes in the process. We were hoping for the heroic abilities to kick in just a bit sooner so that they could use them in the team fight, but they were just way too quick. Now either way, we got the level 10 for both teams, and of course now that the Immortal is being announced again, it's all about the camps and therefore afterwards the Immortal itself. We have the traditional ults, nothing out of the ordinary. The X-Strike for Genji, maybe noteworthy, since we've still seen a lot of Dragon Blades recently. And the Immortal with a more defensive position now for those teams. So, yep, time will tell which team walks away with the second Immortal in this game. And who takes the lead in the series. On the left side, Chromie as far back as she possibly can. Always trying to keep the distance so that she can't get attacked anymore. She doesn't have the level 13 yet. Only one that hasn't fallen, by the way, on the blue team side is Stukov. He's the only one that has not died yet. But here's the engage as they're starting to make their way in. Hanzo now starting to scratch the 20,000 damage. Genji's sitting at 18k, so both of them dishing out. The Shimada brothers are just doing the work here on the hero damage. There's no denying that. Arrow against the Nubarak, the follow-up, and yes, the pest control is in the house. The cockroach has been killed. Nice. A bit more damage from Bishops and they're chasing them hard. That's Stukov eliminated. The quest completed for Muradin. But Stalk gets dropped on his place. And they're trying to make a play for Denado too, I suppose. Yeah, he's rather low. But Chromie, she needs to go for the timeout and she is only going to postpone the inevitable here. There's no way Draco survives this. He's dead. And that's Team Arthas with 9 kills to 5. They are suffering some damage at the bottom fort. The same is also true for the top lane, and it seems like this could be the end of the fort. Especially, yeah, they're still attacking here. I mean, Sven is trying to do what he can, stopping it. Muradin has done the same thing at the bottom of the map, so the forts are still there. But it seems that the Immortal is soon going to be eliminated. Then again, Team Arthas needed to fall back, so it's a 5 versus 5 again. With Chromie back to business, if they get a quick kill, maybe they got a chance to do something about all of this. It's going to be a bit dicey though. I mean, Bishops is already starting to move in from the side. Oh, he gets stunned. They're going straight for the attack. The X-Strike is in. And yeah, he's down. He's down. He was a bit too greedy. He was hoping to sneak in from the side and get some shots connected. But with Hanzo down, there's an opportunity now for the Stinky Sweaters to come in and take the Immortal. That was a brilliant kill for them. And they have all the power in the world now to make this play. They're coming in with the Cocoon, buying themselves a little bit more time, and I think they can make this happen. They are going for it, and they are going to take it. They might lose a Nubarak in the process, but the Immortal is taken. The big dive once again on Chromie, and Nubarak gets out. Chromie is about to... No! Chromie makes it out! The arrow doesn't hit anything here, and they're still getting chased. Even the sound barrier gets used. But, oh boy, if they can't get a kill against the blue team, then they are going to be in a bit of trouble. Instead, it's Lucio that dies. No way. Lucio is down, and the Immortal is already at the top. Now, the good news is that Team Arthas is going to grab the level 13 in just a moment. But holy hell, that did not go well for Team Arthas. They had a fantastic opening into the second objective, but then everything just collapsed and fell apart. Kill for a kill. They're trying to follow up with the second one. Genji is able to jump out. The top fort has, of course, been destroyed. And that's not the only fort that's going to be destroyed, because Rexa, he's busy at the bottom of the map. He's already starting to take the next one down. The Immortal at the top is maybe going to be able to break through a tower or two, but that's about it. Down here, fort is low. I don't think they are going to get it. Maybe if Chromie can dish out a bit of damage. But here comes the play for Stalk, and he's down. Genji with a quick zip goes for the Swift Strike, and that's another kill. Yeah, Genji is at 33,000 damage now. He's the top damage in the game, even ahead of Chromie, who's currently sitting at the 30k. But this is some pretty fun stuff here. 10 kills to 9. They are very much so going for it. I like it. Yeah, and level 14 versus level 14. Structurally speaking, the blue team is of course ahead, but in experience, they haven't really taken a big lead or anything. So, it's a fun one. I expected this to be a bit closer, but I gotta say, so far, this has exceeded expectations. Stinky Sweaters also playing with a sub player. I should probably have pointed it out a little bit earlier, but one of their players didn't show up, so they subbed in Rag, the Genji player that is currently doing a whole lot of work. And honestly, if he's gonna perform on the same level in the next few maps as well, then I think they're gonna make him a full part of their lineup. Because right now, he's at least in the team fights carrying the shit out of them. Getting all the damage connected and coming in with one hit after another. I mean, right now we got 10 kills to 9. There's the level 15 for them. The next objective has been announced, so we're going to see the play for the Shaman camps. The defense at the bottom of the map in an attempt to get some extra experience by Stalk. But time will tell if they can turn this one around. So far, they haven't destroyed a single fort yet, so the catapult pressure is starting to slowly mount up against Team Arthas. Yeah, and the Stinky boys over here, they are looking for another Immortal, and if they get it, now 12, 13 minutes into the game, we could talk about keeps. It could definitely be the destruction of the keep. Now, there's still a Shaman camp at the top, so eventually you gotta get someone topside so that they can deal with this. I guess Rexa is already on the way, trying to do that. And of course that also triggers a response from the red team, as Team Arthas does the same thing at the bottom of the map. Shaman camp is out. Everybody's still playing this out fairly passive. Time traps get eliminated too. But there's a lot on the line now. And experience is a small gap, but the early level 16 will definitely trigger an attack from Stinky Sweaters. They should use that 16 talent as soon as they can to get something going here. By the way, I really like that we're also having Sven push out the top lane a little bit further. One of the towers is already down, and the catapults are, of course, soon come in too. Here's the play with a 16. They're forcing that fight, and Hanzo disappears. Muradin is still alive, dodging out on some of the damage, able to survive thanks to his ult as he's popping the avatar. But they lost Hanzo, and that is their main damage dealer against the Immortal. The level 16 attack came exactly when we predicted it would come in. And of course, that's an easy halftime show for the Stinky Sweaters. Nice. 20 stacks also on Rexa, so he's getting a bit closer to complete his level 4 quest. Another engage, and here comes the damage. The sound barrier. Nope, it doesn't save him. Blaze still goes down. Even with the sound barrier, he's not able to survive, and those are staggered deaths against the blue team. Taking the defensive posture with a few of the frontline heroes. 16 is now available for both teams. But this is rough. Because now Team Arthas is in real trouble. That's nearly 100% Immortal that we're talking about now. And I'm a bit blown away. I had Team Arthas at the favorite for this one. Not by a huge margin, don't get me wrong. I said in the draft already that I could see a 3-mapper happen here. But boy, they are really losing ground. And I gotta stress once more that the Stinky Sweaters are playing with a sub-player. Is that a bad thing? Is that a good thing? I don't really know, but so far they didn't really seem to have any big problems in this game. 40,000 damage now for that sub-player, for Genji. And they're moving through the bot lane in an attempt to take the first keep down. Kill count is incredibly even, but when you talk about structures, there's a massive gap between the two teams now. There's the arrow, Chromie, and she's down. Chromie gets eliminated, she's dead, and now they're hopefully... Well, actually, are they going for the kill? Are they going for the keep? What are they going to try and do? It looked for a moment like they would try to follow up with additional kills, but they were trying to hold the keep instead, and I don't really think it's happening. Oh! They barely cannot save it. Yeah, that was close. That was very, very close. But they couldn't get it. Okay, so with this we got 11 kills to 11. Another play made for Muradin for just a moment. Nice connect here. And a deep dive as they're looking for an additional kill. Chromie is still down and Stukov dies too. Staggered deaths against them. But Genji is carrying hard again. Rak definitely put on the backpack today and is carrying the key team to victory. Yeah, that man has calves sexy as hell. But he got Hanzo'd. Genji gets Hanzo'd and that might just be the momentum that Team Arthas needs now. One kill after another. Chromie might be back, but she nearly falls again. And they are aggressively taking this, with the top 4 just now being eliminated. So at least structurally, they're getting a bit farther ahead here. But I absolutely love this. This is getting fantastic. Blow for blow. These two teams are seriously like just two boxes in the ring that just foregone all defense and just go for one attack after another. Everybody is just like diving, looking for kills. We have 25 kills in total now, 16 minutes into that game. And it's time for more camps on the map. And this is a lot of fun. There's a lot of action that is happening now. And this is only the first game of the day, of course. So we are definitely starting this off with some really nice plays. Got 18 to 18 now on the level count. So level 20 isn't quite a thing yet, but soon TM. Trying to make a play for Camembert, but this time the jet propulsion doesn't hit him. Yeah, so the Immortal comes up another 10. Camps are this time not taken. As you can see, they're just brawling this out. There's like strategy, tactically setting up the lanes. What are you talking about? But he can brawl, so let's go and just kill them. Just kill all of them. The team that's dead can't take the Immortal. Stun into stun, and Rexar is dead. That arrow, wanted style, curved around the obstacles, connects with the target, and Murden follows up on it. Camembert is also low, and he goes down. Nicely done. That's a double kill, 15 kills to 12, and all of a sudden Team Arthas is starting to get momentum again. They got the opportunity now to go for the Immortal. They want the halftime show, and they should be able to lock this one in quickly. Yeah, they're doing great here now. But this game isn't over by any means. Keep in mind that bottom keep is down. All that the Stinky Sweater needs is another big teamfight victory, and they have a chance to just go bot lane and end the game. Now, they're even stealing the camp away, so that's already awesome. And, well, here we go. There's a play for that. Camp is down, and nobody contests it. They're moving over to the right, and they're starting to take it here. 19 to 19. 20 any moment now. For the blue team, by the way. Despite the kills that we just saw for Team Arthas, the blue team is going to have them before that. But, yep, they want to go for the camp before they start to take the objective. There we go. Big Immortal and the camp as well. And here's the level 20 talents. Both of the teams locking it in at the same time. Whew. It's going to be fun. And that push is going to be tricky. Tricky to deal with. X-Strike gets upgraded. We got the living weapon right here, so it's all about the cooldown reduction. Genji's gonna try and jump around like a bunny on speed. And here we go. That's the opportunity, the big one, to maybe even end the game. At the least, take down a keep. We're 19 minutes in. They got vision now, so now they know that they can make the plays here. Alright, Mirrodin already starting to play this out against Misha. And in we go. Moving through the bottom of the map, trying to take the wall down. Sylvanas enhancing the push even further. Misha is down already. They're trying to poke the Immortal, and it's down. Like, honestly, the shield just evaporates. They're doing a great job on the shield here, and that's fantastic for them. They know that they can't save the key, but they want to save the core. Again, the engage, but what a beautiful feign death from Rexar. He dodges out on the Stormbolt. Sven is able to get away, and that's a lot of resources already used by Team Arthas to try and get the kill that they were not able to lock in. Immortal is starting to fall a little bit more. Red team is still looking for a potential victory. Here comes the Cocoon, the dive into the backline. They're making the play for Bishops, and Nubarak solos Hanzo. Hanzo is down, the core is losing hit points. They go for Denado, they want Muradin, and they grab him, and Nubarak gets away. The Immortal is defeated, the core is down to 79%, but the red team is on the run, and they might be in trouble here. They have to rush away from this one. 3 players are still alive and could technically try and defend if the blue team is making a play for core. And it seems like that's exactly what they're trying to do here. They're taking the waves out and they're making their way over to the right side of the map. 40 seconds, 30 seconds until Murden and Hanzo are back. And they still got Genji trying to close the gap to maybe drop Lucio. They need to heal those up, and it's all about buying time at this point. If Morenas is able to kill someone with Sylvanas, then they got a chance here. But this is getting real dicey, real tricky. They're doing what they can. The aggression is there. Sylvanas trying to buy them a little bit of time. The core is already getting attacked. The entire 5-man of the Stinky Sweaters is on the core. The shield has already fallen, and their hit points are dropping. But they're going for Stalk. They're trying to get some kills in together with it. Here comes the the sound barrier, 83% on the core. Hanzo is back, and a big arrow straight in the face. Oh my god, an insane arrow shot out by Hanzo, and they are able to get 2 kills. Genji and Stukov are both down. They are getting a Nubarak. They're taking Rexa down. 5-man team wipe. Check this arrow out. Holy shit. Comes in from the side. Bam! Hits literally everyone. And they are able to pick up multiple kills right afterwards. Team Arthas on the way to the core. On their way to victory in game number 1. What an insane finish. What a finish. And Hanzo, oh boy, the beautiful arrow to end the game and prep for the 5-man team wipe. Nicely done. GG, well played. Team Arthas taking the lead on Battlefield of Eternity in this best of 3 series in our Heroes of the Storm tournament.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Beautiful first game, everybody. A real fun one. A massive brawl with Team Arthas. I don't know why, but it seems like their games always deliver. That arrow at the end, a work of art. That was a 6-man arrow. It hit everyone, Misha included. And honestly, I felt kind of dirty watching that. That arrow was brutal. Everybody got stacked up there. They didn't really account for Hanzo. He respawns at the Nexus, shoots that thing out. Bam, everybody is stunned, and they get 2 kills immediately after that. And they're just cleaning house and make a 5-man team wipe happen. Now we're heading into the second map. We got a lead in the best of 3 for Team Arthas. Now keep in mind, this is the winner bracket that we're looking at right now. Whichever team loses here, they drop down into the losers bracket and not out of the tournament yet. This is the Rive Cup. We got the lead for Team Arthas at this point. Prize money on the lines, 2,000 euros roughly. And when it comes to bans on Tomb, we have Stukov and also Uther, both again eliminated. Yeah, obviously on Tomb of the Spider Queen, there's still a couple of picks that you have to think about if you want to pick them or ban them. The days where we see Jojo being banned out because of the wave clear, we don't see too much. She has been banned, I think, in the Master Slash a couple of times, but generally speaking, there are other priorities right now where you just say, yes, we would love to take her away from you, but at the same time, there's other heroes that we're more concerned about. Medivh is a prime example of that. So, yeah, they banned out Hanzo too. They banned out Hanzo because they're just saying, like, that's not happening again. That 5-man is not gonna be a thing, sorry. So Hanzo gets banned. We got Sonya as a first pick. Sven obviously was a Sonya one-trick for like ages, and that was in the days when Sonya wasn't part of the meta the entire time. So right now we got him, of course, in an absolute like fantasy world where Sonya is pretty much played by every single team. Here's our Chromie pick, and we get Lucio together with it. So quick rotations between the lanes and Tomb of the Spider Queen are definitely going to be a thing for them. Question is, at this point, who is going to pick up Johanna? Johanna with the Eternal Retaliation and with the Condemn is of course fantastic. So you would love to get her on your team too. Unless of course you have some combo attempt that you're trying to set up, but with Stukov already banned out, I don't think that's really gonna be a thing. You need to have some wave clear here. This is Tomb after all. And we get Junkrat and Anduin. Really huge priority on Anduin in particular, and also Junkrat doesn't really make any sense to me just yet. I mean, maybe a little bit of a weird way to phrase this. Let me explain. Junkrat in and of itself is fantastic on Tomb of the Spider Queen. He's great for the interrupt, you got good wave clear around with him, but normally you're also trying to somehow follow up with your mines on a stun so that you can catapult the target into your backline. So far they don't really have anything that would work with that, and Anduin also doesn't cater to that too well. So I'm a little bit curious what exactly they're going to do later on in the draft to make up for that. So the priority on Anduin in particular is a little bit strange. That's something they could have picked a bit later. We got the ban on Genji. Deathwing gets banned out. But yeah, just the pick priorities are a little bit strange for the Stinky Sweaters, given the meta and the way that normal drafts are working out these days. Maybe that Hanzo stun has them still on the ropes. Malthael and Tychus are the picks, so that's really solid damage. And very, very late main tank picks. I mean, boy. Jojo not being taken this late in the game. No Anubarak, no Varian, no nothing. Like, no frontline at all. So, That's pretty unusual. Normally you see them picked way before the last rotation. But alright, let's see what the Stinky Sweaters got here. They got an Alarak, and there's the Jojo pick. Alright, Alarak together with Johanna, and now Junkrat can follow up on the two latest additions to the draft. Our last pick is coming in for Team Arthas. They are hoping for a 2-0, of course, to move on to the next round of the tournament in our Heroes of the Storm event here. But time will tell. Denado needs to make the pick. Tomb of the Spider Queen. And it is Diablo. Off we go. Dibbles. Last pick for Team Arthas. Let's go, everybody. Game number 2, Tomb of the Spider Queen. It's Stinky Sweaters against Team Arthas. Tomb of the Spider Queen is our second map. We got the Stinky Sweaters against Team Arthas. And yep, it's time to see if the blue team can come back into the series. Drakia on Junkrat, Sven on Sonya. We got Dark Dorita on Anduin, Rack on Alarak, the sub player for the blue team. And Camembert is playing Johanna. On the right side of the map, Stork is playing Malthael. We got Killer on Lucio, Bishops on Tychus, Murenas is playing Chromie today, and we got Denado on the Lord of Terror. Okay, let's make this happen. Let's see if we're gonna get a 3-map out of this one. Either way, I hope this game is going to be as entertaining as the first one. Game number 1 was an absolute blast. It had pretty much everything. But now we got our move with Diablo here in the middle. Gets booped around a little bit by Junkrat right away. So, yeah. And just the other day, we had Nick playing Alarak again, and it was kind of fun to see negatively charged on level 1. It was Battlefield of Eternity game. But the first thing happening here is that they are crushing Jojo. Yeah, Johanna gets eliminated, doesn't stand a chance at all. Alarak is still getting some damage out here. I just want to see how the build is going to work out for him. I gotta say, I'm a sucker for quest talents. I really like it when you have endless stacking going on for someone, because it makes for really fun late games, and if someone really performs well, they can distinguish themselves beautifully from the rest of the team and really make a bit of a name for themselves there. I mean, Nick's Alarak the other day had, I think, 70 stacks on the negatively charged, so it was absolutely insane to see that damage output in the late game. And it was not really that long of a game, so if we would have seen an even longer match, it could have been even more ridiculous. But either way, at this point, we got our setup here in the mid lane. We already got some of the teams trying to go for the siege giants at the bottom of the map. Everybody else was more worried about the lane rotation in the middle and up at the top. And it already seems that Diablo is trying to set up some small traps for them. We got the early kill here, so that's kind of neat. But now at the bottom of the map, they still have to make sure that they're dealing with the siege giants that have just now been claimed. Nobody has gone for any camps outside of that. Normally you see the bruiser camps taken a bit earlier here. Nice attempt at a wall stun, but this time the trade for Camembert was ready, so he doesn't get caught off guard here in the slightest. Chromie is slowly starting to move in. We got Sven already in position here too, still trying to defend, and here's the level 4 talents as the people come in with the bigger they are against that front line. Alright. Sonya, careful. Sven has to dodge out on this. That's the problem when you're up against a Lucio. He's just going to enhance the rotations by speeding them up, and then you can quickly jump on a target on the solo lane. That's what Sonya has to be careful about the entire time. And she's not the only one. That was a very, very late Iron Skin on Jojo, just barely in time to avoid being killed for the second time in a row. And it just showcases how much pressure Team Arthas is currently building up here. Oh, talking about pressure, seems like Malthael himself is also getting attacked. This is of course always the flip side. If you're playing really aggressive and you're trying to just dictate the pace of the game, that's kind of neat, but if your opponent is able to exploit the small gaps in your playstyle and then turn it against you, that can quickly turn south too. So Stinky Sweaters, they are currently resisting all that pressure that is put on them. They're making sure that if there is a gap, they're coming in and trying to turn it around, which is not really all that easy. But they're definitely in a position where they can make that happen. And these small attempts like the one that we just saw against Malthael are a good indicator for that. If you turn that and you take a quick kill, then you're in a pretty decent spot there. Now the camp is taken on both sides, so we got the Bruiser camp for the red team already underway. And the blue team is likely going to try and time this a little bit. Like in an ideal world, what you want to have is you want to have your own camp arrive roughly here at the front, when the red team's camp is just in tower range. Now that doesn't quite work out for them right now. So that's a bit unfortunate. Sven gets attacked at the bottom, but again they can lock in the kill. The reason why you're trying to avoid the two camps crashing in the middle of the map like they do right now is if you can set it up here, your towers will help with the defense, and then you have the remainers of your own camp still in a position where they can push cross map and you can take this down. So it's a bit of a better position. Timing is always a little bit tricky if minion waves are also on the map, so you gotta be careful around that. Red Web Weavers are coming down first, and they already have their level 7 talent, so at least for now, things are going pretty well for Team Arthas. Of course, for them, a 2-0 victory here would be preferable. They don't want to go through the third map. And if they can maybe get even a kill here, that would be kind of neat. Now, gems have been turned in for both teams, but we still have some that Team Arthas could take away if they get a kill. But our first item on the agenda is some damage against the structures here. And they're trying to set that up, but of course a kill would help with that too. They go for Camembert, and in comes Anduin with the quick pull, destroying that play. But the wall still down, so they're going for the last tower. That thing might fall. Also, Jojo is in trouble again. Gets the iron skin out, good for her. Grenade comes in, but is not doing enough damage. Last tower is about to fall. At the bottom of the map, Malthael is pushing this one in too, and Sven is in a bit of trouble here. With the 20 gems that he currently holds, he also needs to be careful. If he goes down, that's a huge problem. In the middle of the map, the fight continues. I mean, they're diving deep for this one. They're really looking to grab Rag here, but they can't. Lucio is moving away from it. They got some damage onto the fort itself. At the top lane, Junkrat has defended, and down here, the wall has also been destroyed. So they're not able to walk away with their fort that gets eliminated. But at least they're taking the walls down, and they're also making another play for those siege giants. So they're quite diligent when it comes to camp control, at least at the bottom of the map. And yeah, top side, that's when we now got Rag to his thing. Now the builds that we're seeing here, we got the grenade build for Tychus. We have in this case also the Chattering Teeth again and the Sticky Wicket. So when it comes over to Junkrat, we got the steel traps now being set up and being quite annoying here. Any kind of mobilization that you can get is of course like key here. We also have level 10 just around the corner, and that is going to be one of the big ones for now, because that's an entire level lead that you could try and use to get some kills in, especially of course with the last rides. And if that works out, if you get those 25 gems, you're golden. And there's the kill, and they are pushing Camembert away. That's a follow-up. So many gems just lost. That's roughly 40 gems that they just lost. And they're losing the fort too. A beautiful attack coordinated around the level 10 ability that they got. And it takes a massive chunk of gems away from the Stinky Sweaters and eliminates their fort at the bot lane. Huge win right now for Team Arthas. And they're not done yet. They're trying to come into the mid lane now for a bit more damage, even like moving to the top. It's also a stack that Malthael already has towards the last ride, so that's another win that they were able to take here. And, well, let's see. Sonya, yeah, Sven is going to be a bit unhappy about this. Whereas Stork has just been now able to turn in. Obviously, they're hoping to get 2 turn-ins in a row. Level 10 abilities now for both of the teams. Could make the engage happen. Come on, Bear. Careful. Blessed Shield not used yet. He tries to turn it against them. There's the jump, leap onto the target, and down goes Tychus. Tychus is down, and that was a beautiful engage and a nice kill. That might just be enough to give them the space they need to turn in and get the first Web Weaver wave. Blessed Shield into Sonya, leap, and a quick blow-up. And they're going for the second kill. Oh boy, Team Arthas again showing their typical aggression. That is their trademark. Going into a 4 versus 5 fight pretty much. Trying to interrupt, trying to prevent the turn-in. And they lose a second hero. A staggered death against them. 2 kills to 3 now. And the first Web Weaver wave for the Stinky Sweater. Yeah, here we go. This is going to be the moment. They got to defend. Malthael is back on the map, but he isn't with the team yet. 15,000 damage for Alarak, 19,000 for Malthael. The aspect of death with a little bit of dying done here. And it's party time. Web Weaver's touching ground. The one at the bottom of the map shouldn't be able to do too much, but in the middle of the map, Junkrat is escorting it towards the... talking about trying to go for damage. Come on, Bear. In trouble again. And Sonya gets pulled back too. But yeah, they are eating some damage here as the light bomb gets used. Anduin is trying to cover the retreat, but they engage with the Apocalypse. And that's a kill. Jojo is down and the blue team is on the run. Their Web Weaver still doing some work, but they themselves have to retreat here. Johanna down. The wall has fallen. At the top side, the Web Weaver is all still doing damage. Down to the bottom of the map, it's a similar picture. They might lose a tower or two over here. But yeah, back and forth the entire time. 4-2. And oh boy. Sadism stacks, we're currently at 116 for him. And let's see if they can get something done before the 13 becomes a problem, because Team Arthas has an extra talent now. So they want to make sure that they are now getting the experience for the next level as well. Neosteel coding is in. Camp at the bottom of the map could be taken again. This is actually one of the sources of the extra experience that Team Arthas is holding. The kills are, of course, another one. And with a fort destroyed at the bottom of the map, they have a passive experience lead as well. Top side, there's the pressure. Alarak and Druida are there. They're trying to go for the XP. Team is trying to get the experience for 13 so they can finally set one of these kills up again, one of those fights. The problem here, as you can tell, is that another turn-in is imminent. So if Team Arthas is able to get all of their gems connected, then that's it. And there it is. Lucio is able to connect the final 8. And that's another way for the red team. Blue team could try and force a fight now. They got their own 13. So that's at least a chance to fight back on this one. Going to be looking for an opening. Any kind of weakness in the defense in the setup. But Lucio is already zipping around between the lanes, and as you can see, Stork is trying to escort the wave out at the bottom of the map as the main attack is focusing onto the middle. The camp alone has already started to pressure the fort here, and together with the Web Weavers, they should get an easy drop on the fort. Take that one down. Down at the bottom still, Sonya, Sven doesn't want to play this out. Diablo coming in, the wall's done, but Denardo decides that they want to go too deep here. And for good reason. If that rotation comes in and then Alarak sets a good combo up and Jojo follows up with a Blessed Shield, that could backfire very, very quickly. So you don't want to risk that at all. So now they're starting to make their play through the middle. Denardo bullying them the entire time here. And they are breaking through that wall. Dibbles hasn't died yet, not even once. Jojo, on the other hand, she died 3 times. So the front line, very different. That's the kill. Jojo dies a 4th time, and Diablo bullies them once again. At least Anduin is able to save Sonya here, but this is not a good look for the blue team. They lose the fort up at the top. The pressure in the mid lane continues, and experience is just getting crazy for Team Arthas. They are 1.5 levels ahead, and they're soon going to pick up the level 16 talents. Now trying to make a play for Diablo. Maybe a chance to take the Lord of Terror down. But no, not even with Rack engaging are they able to do that. Dracu's trying to cover, and they are at least saving the keep. I mean, that's something. Tigers is at 38,000 damage. Chromie wasn't able to do too much damage yet. So Morenas is sitting at 23,000, but he's been able to do a lot of siege damage at least. Trying to take all of that down. Top damage dealer is still Alarak on the blue team side. And Alarak hasn't died yet either. So I guess that's the good news for him. Alarak hasn't fallen. He is going to try and get this damage connected, but it's getting tricky. They also still have a couple of gems. So technically speaking, they could try and go for their own turn-in, but against level 16 talents, that's always tricky. We could see the traditional exchange of boss against turn-in, and I guess that's what's happening. So if you're not really aware of what's going on here, the blue team is, they know that the red team is on the boss. They're turning in because they're just saying, okay, we can't really do anything about you being at the boss. You have a level 16, we don't want to go up against that. So you take the boss, we turn in, and we buy ourselves time with those Web Weavers, with the turn in, and then we can defeat the boss at the top lane. So this is pretty much just an exchange. You acknowledge the opponent is going to get the boss. At the same time, you try to prevent them from pushing with the boss as a 5-man. So you turn in, and that's gems turned in against the boss defense. That's pretty much the only thing that's happening. While they defend the boss, the red team is starting to defend the Web Weavers. They're going to move from the middle down to the top. And maybe the lanes are getting pushed out a bit, but that's all that the Stinky Sweaters are really accomplishing with this one. So, well, there it is. But yeah, at this point, what are we gonna get? We got, obviously here, Domination is already in. And level 16 talents are gonna be ready any second down now. So, let's see what they can do with that. They need that, and they need to try and take a team fight before level 20 becomes a problem. That's one of the big ones. So, yeah, let's see real quickly. There's the 16, and what are we gonna get? Now, first of all, we got our Lightning Barrage is in. We got a Fanaticism already for the Iron Skin duration. Sonya following it up as usual with a giant slammer here and going all in on the slam and bam. So full on slam build for her, trying to get the extra damage in. And with that, we can start to go for our big team fight. Because that's what they have to force now. They gotta force a fight. Red team, right now, is still going to be willing to give it to them because they're 2 levels away from level 20. They're not going to stall for time. They know that they can't keep that up because there's still the threat of an objective at some point. I mean, now they only have 22 gems, but still, you're going to try to fight this one out. But both of them are pretty timid now. I want to defend first, set this up, see if they have to push some lanes out, look for an opportunity. The problem is also that Team Arthas is going to get the gems for another turn in first. So they got an opportunity to then turn in. I mean, right now they would already probably do well just turning in the gems they have, even before they hold enough gems for a full-on Red Beaver wave. There's the leap. Apocalypse has the follow-up. They're trying to make the play. And Sonya is down immediately. Oh boy, that's a problem. Dark Dorita goes down. They're getting farmed. They're getting farmed. That's the end of Jojo, and we're going to see Alarak die too. Goodbye, Sadism Stacks. He's down to 90, and that's one single hero ready for defense. We could see the game, and right here, especially with Odin being popped, a 2-0 is in their grasp, and with a kill against Junkrat, they are completing the 5-man team wipe, and they're making the play for the core and for the victory in the best of 3 series. Nicely done and well played. Team Arthas, the big victory against the Stinky Sweaters here in the winner bracket. The Stinky Sweaters dropping down to the losers bracket of the Heroes of the Storm tournament, whereas Team Arthas is going to be able to advance to the next round. They're all a bit low, but they're still going to have the damage output. You would think at least. Hello, team? Hello? There we go. Game over. Team Arthas with the win in our Heroes of the Storm best of 3. Let's go. Nicely done and GG.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.